It's the first time we've stopped at this station for quite a long old while, and I don't know about you, but I can see just one little light over on their own, over in the corner. I guess you could call him a Billy Nomates.
Hey,
Didn't see that coming.
brilliant.
Haha! Billy Nomates with CACTI is the album that we are about to cover. Liam is probably the biggest Billy Nomates fan in the room.
World.
Yanni arguably
Wasn't.
yes.
The bottomist.
He definitely wasn't the biggest Billy
botanist.
Nomates fan in the world. Has that changed upon listening to this record? We'll find out. I don't know why I'm taking the reins on this. Yanni normally does it, but we will start at the beginning with the song Balance Is Gone, which was released as a single prior to the release of the full album. It is a hard slapper. It cannot be denied. Billy's voice, fantastic. As I've said numerous times, I love the vocals. Melodic choices as well. Always a win when it comes to Billy Nomates. Fantastic intro to an album.
Yes. Congratulations, Callum Words. Balance is Gone is good. I'm going to be really honest with you. My review of each individual track is not very detailed.
Fine, mate. It's fine.
First way back.
Don't worry about it, lad.
This song is very enjoyable though. I first became accustomed to it from memory, at least, when I was round at Liam's and he put the record on. I remember asking him, "What is this?" I don't know if you remember that, Liam, but I remember it like it were a couple of days ago, and I still find this enjoyable. Thank you, Billy, and your lack of friends.
Do you know what? I'll be your friend, Billy. Be Billy one mate for now. Billy one mate, mate with Liam. Billy mate with Liam. Balance is Gone with Make Me Your Mate. Billy.
Oh, this is drawn out, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think it's a great. I think this is a great song. Every like little music sound effect throughout it is great. There's like that part and like the all that. And then like the guitar in the chorus is great. I love that guitar sound. And the vocals are stunning. Yeah, wonderful. Great way to open the album. One of the songs of the year for sure.
Wow.
That was quite the vocal effect earlier.
Yeah, it was. Next up, Black Curtains in the Bag. Billy, Nomates. You've got a great song in the bag. That was so shit. I'm so sorry. I really tried to come up with something on the spot then, but it just wasn't going to happen. This is a great song, man.
Yeah, it is. I was surprised to have a slower, softer song this early in the track list. I enjoyed it at the time. More on that later. The instrument... Oh... struggled on that one. The instrumentation is lovely, particularly the synth and that horrific noise thing. That jump scare did its job every time. I shat myself every listen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe it was just in the shop when I was listening to.
Oh, yeah. There's like a screechy kind of.
Yeah.
I'm listening to it now. God, that is loud. Actually, now I'm listening to it. I've never noticed that before. No, yeah, I think this is a great song. The first time I listened to this album, I thought, kind of what you just said there, Cal. This seems far too early to have a slower song like this. Quite a darker song as well, musically. Especially after the kind of lively and some like seemingly upbeat Balance Is Gone. But the more I listen to it, I just think it's like it's just great. It's just really, really good.
Registered with me that it was a slow song, if I'm honest with you. Just kind of vibed with it.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Maybe you've got different expectations. But yeah,
none.
Yours are very low.
Yeah.
But no, I really, really like it. And it's just wonderful. I don't really have much more kind of technical.
Then stop trying to come up with things. Okay.
Stop.
Next
No
up,
one to stop.
We've got Blue Bones in brackets Death Wish. Similar slapper.
That it is. Liam, you talk about it because you like this one.
I mean, I think I've said many times this is one of my favourite songs of recent times. I think it's an absolute banger. It's so good. Every aspect again, the guitar, the synth sounds, the drum sounds so good. Vocal stunning. You know what you're getting with Billy Nomates, which is all those things, and they're going to be in a slightly different pattern than others in each song. But you know you're going to have some sort of solid drum beat, some little good guitar line. The vocals are going to be solid, and this showcases that really well. Lyrics are great, and like just every time I listen to it, I just love it more and more. Really, really good song.
Yep.
Sound. Moving on to title track "Cacti." I'm gonna be honest with you. This was my least favorite song.
So
going
far,
through it.
or in
so
general?
so far, I think, until I tell you otherwise.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm the same.
It has its merits, but
Yeah, I'm sorry.
just after the run of songs we had before, it feels very weak in comparison.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
Yeah. I do agree. I said that I like the O vocals.
I was just about to butt in and actually say the O vocals sound really good the way they pan around.
Yeah.
But I didn't need to, but I still did anyway.
Is my turn? I lost track of where we were up to.
Order!
I think the bass, like synth sound, whatever that is really good in this song, and I think the vocals are really good, really interesting vocal melodies and stuff. Especially when she sings like the higher parts and what have you. I just kind of think it's maybe just missing a few other parts. Which is what is not making it as good as it could be, kind of thing. But kind of like what I said before, I feel like you kind of. I can always listen to Billy Nomates, whatever song, even if I don't particularly like the song, because the elements are always kind of, you know what you're getting, and they're always good. But yeah, in terms of the actual song structure of this one, doesn't quite do it for me.
Yeah. Next up we have Saboteur Force Field. Saboteur Force Field. This again is another slower one. I got I'm gonna have to get the fucking thing up here. I got what is their face? Clairo vibes musically. I don't know, just like the way it made me sort of feel. Made me feel warm and comforted.
Well,
Yeah.
this is my favourite so far. It
Wow.
too made
I
me
wasn't finished,
feel
but yeah, crack on, mate.
so warm and comforted. I was just jumping on that point, so you carry on.
I enjoyed this. Another pick up after Cacti. I did put it passed me by on my notes, but I'm listening to it now, and such a fool for putting that. I'm so sorry.
Such a fool. Yeah, I've
Very
said what I
fool.
wanted to say.
Yeah, it's really. I think she does a really good job of getting kind of the emotion across in this song. It feels very. You're right, Yanni. Very warm and comforting.
Thanks.
But also kind of emotional. So maybe comforting's not quite, but along those lines, yeah. And I just think it's another very good, well written song.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Roundabout Sadness. Different sounding one, more of like a live kind of feel with this. Very roomy with the vocals going on. It was good to sort of have a change of style.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really mad on it, but like I feel like in context of the album, when you're listening to it, it's good to have something different like this at this point. So yeah, I'm sort of neither here or there with it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I like the merry-go-round sound. I think it's a cool idea, but it doesn't do much for me.
As Girls Loud once said, the sound of the merry-go-round. Yeah, no, it's an interesting one, I think, musically and the way she sings and stuff, but just doesn't quite do it for me. It could be shorter. I think actually I'd prefer if it was shorter and it'd be more of an interlude.
Yeah.
Whereas it just kind of stays its welcome a bit too long, really, to be an interlude. And
Might
it's not long enough to be a real song.
You could
so.
say it overstays its welcome.
Wow. That would be.
Yeah.
I wish I'd said that.
Yeah, I wish you had said that too. Yeah. Next up, we've got Spite. Now, my initial comment was, this is cringy. because it sounded very sort of like pop punky style with the guitars. But as it goes on, those feelings sort of dwindle away, and I like the sort of bouncy nature of it with the drums going on. And again, it's sort of like a newer sound, not a newer sound, a different sound for the album, which keeps it interesting at this point.
Yeah, it was a good tune. The heavier guitar being more prominent broke up the track list for me, and yeah, like Yanni says, kept it interesting.
Yeah, I agree with all those points. So the harmonies are really nice in the chorus, very well done, and I find myself just kind of singing this to myself all the time in my head.
Liam Nomates.
It's great to sing along to. Liam Nomates.
Liam Nomates. Next up, we have Fauna. Now, this is probably the medium I was listening to it through, which was just my phone speaker. But there's a weird note that gets played, and it was very clashy with everything else that was going on at certain points. And I'm listening to it again through headphones, and it's not as noticeable. It works in a sort of off-kilter way. And I do quite enjoy the song. It's quite peaceful.
Yep. This is one of my favourites on the record. I think it comes at the right time for an acoustic track to be in. Great English. Yeah, I don't know. In isolation, I think it's arguably one of her best songs. I don't know what point I'm making. I like the song. My notes really contradicted each other there. Where I wasn't sure if I liked it, the placement, or if I didn't. But I'm saying that I like it.
Yeah, so I'll talk. The first time I listened to this, it very much passed me by. I didn't really have any thoughts on it, but the more I listened to it, it's just very gentle, very nice and gentle. I think the guitar sounds really nice, the acoustic guitar, and the other instruments sound very nice, kind of coming in and out. And again, just the vocals on display there, wonderful. She's a great vocalist. She is.
Wunderbar. That's a reference to our. I'm not going to keep on mentioning this. Next up, we have Same Gun. This was all right. Not really got much more to add to that, to be honest.
I have nothing to add to that because I don't have that song in my notes.
I like the piano or synth sound, whatever's being played. It sounds like a piano.
Yeah.
I think that sounds very good. But other than that, yeah, this one's probably one of the weakest on the album for me, if not the weakest.
Yeah.
I think it's, again, like I said before, I still will listen to it and enjoy it because it's her. But as a song, it's just not really that exciting. I think maybe this album does suffer from having one or two songs many.
Yeah.
Two songs many.
Could be 10 songs and it'd be pretty
tight.
perfect.
Yeah, and this is one that could go, in my opinion.
Definitely. Vertigo is the name of the next track. And again, I've not got much to really say about this one. It was all right again, but
I think we're getting into the territory now where the songs are similar, so the notes are similar. But what I will say is I think this is a great example of what she does best. It's just been done numerous times.
Yeah, she kind of does her best quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really like this. I think the chorus is great in this song. I'm breaking from the chorus back into the verse when that kind of blah, blah, blah sound. That was the worst sound I've done tonight.
Yeah, it was.
I can't
let
really
yourself
replicate
down,
that sound.
mate.
But I hope you find it and know what I'm talking about. And the bass throughout the intro and throughout the song is really good as well. This has got that kind of definitely reminds me of kind of older Billy Nomade stuff. And also, like, you can see with the link between like Sleep with the Mods and stuff like that with this kind of track. Same universe.
Don't ruin it for me.
Well, they did a song together, didn't they? Mork and Mindy, which is
Action Man and Cindy.
Somewhat similar to this kind of in terms of a structure, and yeah, I enjoy Vertigo.
Sound. Next up, second to last, Apathy is Wild. Love all the little synth sounds going on in this. Vibey, man.
Vibey. again, what I said about Vertigo, in isolation, this song I've got absolutely zero complaints about. However, I was just in the album, I'm just a bit like, oh, I'm waiting for the end now.
Yeah, I completely agree. Again, yeah. Again, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Again,
I was trying to form them. In isolation, it's a good song, but yeah, it's within the
Bass line
context
is
of the
nice
album,
on
I'm
this as
losing it,
well.
but,
Nice
I think
chorus
like
effect on the bass.
yeah, definitely. And I think what you said there, Yanni, about the other little synthy sounds and stuff is what makes this album a step up from the first album. I feel like
Step
just
up.
generally production-wise and kind of filling a song out, she's done a much better job this way around. Not that it was bad the first time, but just a bit better this time around.
And finally, Blackout Signal. What a way to close the album. What a fantastic
Oh, boy.
tune. I put, yeah, man. I love this. Cool drum sounds, that snare, very weird. And all the synths, little parts that come in and go out, and then just beautiful. And the vocals, tip top towards the end when she starts giving it a bit.
yeah,
Bit of welly.
Bit of
Yeah.
willy.
yeah, bang on about the no holds barred vocals at the end. My one slight gripe is that I wish the instrumentation matched that energy at the end. I think that's mainly the drums, but obviously with it being a drum machine, I don't know. I wished it just went a bit further in that regard. But the track itself is fantastic. It's a fantastic ender to the album.
Bit more reverb on that snare towards the end.
Just a
Even
bit
What were you
more.
thinking?
It's just I don't know. Just a bit less. No, just a bit less on the beat. I don't know. A bit worse.
So you want us to start doing double time, ragtime?
I don't know. That's just what I thought.
Yeah, whatever, Callum.
Rethink.
This is great. It's a great end to this album in every way. I think it really ties together the stylings from the rest of the album, and those vocals at the end get me every single time. There's so much emotion. in that.
Where do they get you, Liam? That's what we need to know.
Right there.
Nice.
It kind of this makes me similar feeling to when they I feel like I don't want to say this. When Heroes is playing in Perks of Being a Wallflower through the tunnel.
And in this moment,
This
we are
song-
infinite.
This song could be playing during that moment.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you're spot on, but it was very
Do you know what I
funny
mean?
to make that comparison.
Yeah, that's what I thought of anyway. Love that film.
Well done for saying it.
Great film.
It is, yeah.
That's spot on.
Good film abuse. Now we must rate this album. I can't wait for this part.
I'm scared.
I'm not
Um,
gonna go first because that's not how we do it. It goes with
I go
Cal.
first because, and
Cal,
I take
go
the
first.
flack. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
My score has changed during the discussion of this album.
You
It always
sheep.
does. Always does. No,
Such a
it's you
sheep.
get a general kind
So
of
is mine.
vibe when
So is
when we
mine, yeah.
discuss music and we kind of get into it. It feels good. And likewise, when it's bad, it feels worse. In this instance, it's made it feel good, and I'm gonna give it a comfortable 8 out of 10.
Yeah, this is where I'm going to struggle, you see, because I actually hated the album and it was a complete lie. Everything I've just said. No, before we were talking about it again, I would have said a 7. When I got to that last track just then when we were talking about it,
Yeah.
I wanted to bump it up to an 8,
It's different, isn't it?
but I'm going to go with 8.
Nice. I'm so
Start
surprised.
the
at that
year
number.
as we don't mean to go on with Yanni being generous.
Yeah, I think it's just because the surprise element of it as well. And for me to come away surprised at liking something, it's got to have something to it, magical. And this has it. And to be honest, I do want to listen to this right now again. So,
Wow. I've listened to it a lot. I find it, like I've said throughout this fucking whole discussion, I find it so easy to listen to. And
yeah,
like
it
the
is
older
easy.
stuff as well. Like a voice is always great. And like the vocal melodies are always great. And that's kind of enough most of the time. To just something to throw on. Like Lydia said to me the other day, she's like, "You fucking loving this woman at the moment." I was like, "Yeah, but just because it's like one, because I'm doing it on the podcast, but also it's just easy to listen to." But I'm genuinely shocked, Jan. I think we talked about this like earlier in the week or last week because I think you maybe started to listen to it or listen to some of it
Yeah.
and didn't seem to enjoy it. So
I don't know what it is.
I'm glad for you that you've come around
I
and you
just-
found something you enjoy.
It needed to be at a specific time, and this time was that time.
Half an hour ago.
Yeah, half an hour ago.
I do think
Um,
I prefer Emergency Telephone as a body of work. I know it's not an album, I know it's an EP, but that style.
I'm gonna have to revisit that now, aren't I?
Yeah.
Bit heavier, just a bit more.
Heels is Petrol Fumes is my favourite song on that.
Heels is my
Heels is
favourite
great
on
as well, but Petrol Fumes is
It's
a
quite
wonderful song.